Hello, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for April 25th to May 2nd, 2025. If you're new here, you're most welcome, and I look forward to you adding your energy to ours as we collectively co-create this reading of the week for our good and the good of all life that we connect with everywhere. I invite you to close your eyes and let's set the intention for this week's reading. Taking 3 nice deep breaths. Pulling our wonderful minds back into our beautiful bodies. Coming back to stillness, to wholeness, to congruence and peace. And with that third exhale, I invite you to imagine a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth like the trees that surround you wherever you are, grounding you and helping you to be fully here now, as well as providing you with a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm grateful to once again be here co-creating this reading of the week for April 25th to May 2nd, 2025. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, and to provide this in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and our collective highest and greatest good. I call upon my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present and ensure that this reading happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we cover all that is in our personal and our collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in this window that we have together here today. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of love, of light, clarity, wisdom, healing, transformation, insight, peace. Whatever is uppermost for us, may it be held here in a good way. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? And so, Creator, what is it that we most need to know today for this coming week, for our good, that we may be in greatest alignment with our highest and greatest good, and bring through our best in service to ourselves, to more life, to more joy, more beauty, more harmony, more of what we need on this planet at this time for the good of all. What would be helpful for us to know, please? Okay, I think everything is go. I've had a few false starts today. It's been a little frustrating, but here we go. The Emperor. This is in the position of the recent past. So what this is telling us is this is information from our own past that we are familiar with, and that's relevant and important now. The Emperor is that very, very masculine card. It's the quintessential sort of quality patriarch. This isn't about patriarchal energy that dominates and controls and doesn't allow life to unfold. This is the quality of the masculine energy that holds the feminine so that the feminine can bloom and come forth and bring it forth its gifts. So this quality of the sacred masculine is what is being called into purpose, into role this week. Our own inner masculine needs to be in place so that our inner feminine can open to more love, to more radiance, and be the beacon of light that it is. And we all have that balance of masculine and feminine within us. And then, of course, on the outer stage, the outer world, we have that dance, the masculine and feminine, all around us all the time. So this energy of the Emperor is, as I said, it's foundational. It's like this kind of quality of energy we need to be present to this coming week. The Emperor sits on his throne at the base of the mountain, and he's very grounded. He's got this wide throne, and he has the waters of the collective consciousness running back along by his feet. He has the mountain behind him. He's very grounded. He's very present. He's very earthy. He is not ungrounded and disengaged. He is connected to the earth and in service to life. And this emperor sits and looks on his throne and looks into his world, looks into his dominion, to his people, to the resources, to the opportunities that are there. And he uses his vision wisely to bring people together and to make things happen in a good way for everyone's highest and greatest good. This is like the card of a win-win-win kind of quality of energy. So this deliberate leveraging of our masculine ability to hold space, to see well, and to create good foundations and opportunities is what's needed as we go forward this week. So just taking care of ourselves in really good ways, being the masculine to our inner feminine, being the parent to the inner child, that kind of quality of energy of holding space, of creating frameworks and structures so that the more spontaneous, creative, expressive side of us has a place to show up into. Because when we don't have boundaries as creatives, we can't generate or create in the same way as we do when we have a container. And I'm not talking about smothering. That's not the idea of the container that I'm talking about. This is more a boundary. And the example that I sometimes like to give is this idea of having an art show. As an artist having an art show, you have a date by which you're going to have that show. You have a medium you're going to work in. You have a theme for your show. You know how many paintings you need to fill that space. There's a structure and a container for the creative energy to bubble up and into. That's the quality of energy that we're talking about here, is what is that framework that we need from our inner masculine so that our feminine can show up more richly and fully. Okay, so let's see what comes up next. We've got the Prince of Swords. This is knights. In other decks, princes are knights. And there's this quality of change, quick change, rapid change. And swords is about ideas and action. So this is new inspiration, inspiring us to new action. That's the quality, but happening very quickly. So this is the energy of our present environment. Things are changing. They're changing quickly. There's a lot of momentum happening, a lot of things going on. It's hard to kind of keep it all together. And there's so many new sparks of information coming in. So this card of that masculine grounding energy is important to keep us centered as this whole dynamic energy is unfolding. So coming back to what are our practices that help us to ground? What does our inner masculine want us to do? And that can be getting out into nature, taking walks, getting our shoes and socks off, stepping into the water, grounding on the earth, hugging a tree. This is earth element that we need to connect with. And that will help us as we navigate these rapid changes and energies that we're in the midst of this week. The near future, the King of Swords. So again, another very masculine card, because the element of air is already quite masculine. And we have this energy of the masculine, masterful masculine holding space on the levels of ideas and action. So we're sort of flanked by this idea of containers, of deliberately holding space, of what are the boundaries, what are we holding for ourselves so that our inner feminine is okay, our inner child is okay. So it might be the child, adult, parent dynamic that might be a little bit more relevant or may feel a little bit more appropriate this week, because we need to take care of ourselves. We need to ally with ourselves, take care of our inner little being, whether that's you identified as the feminine or the child, that more expressed, spontaneous, creative, generative kind of quality. Well, we need a framework. We're in human bodies. If we don't have structures in place, we burn out, we overgive. We don't get around to doing the things we want to do because we get dissipated. That's where this discipline energy comes in, this masculine energy of structure, of coherent things being put in place for our good. So more of us can show up happily, safely, productively, with us staying in balance, in right balance. So it's very interesting, this energy of this masculine holding us in a good way this week. And the foundation card, oppression, 10 of Wands. So Wands is about creativity, inspiration, and passion. It's the fire element. And this card I think is so interesting because we have this individual who's like bent over carrying all this heavy stuff, and it's quite dark, which is not typical for the Wands. They're usually very jubilant, joyful kind of quality to the cards. But the 10 is darker and heavier. And this card has to do with other people's energy in our space. And this is why we're having the reading this week, is whose energy is in our space? And can we get out from under it? Do we really need to be living our lives according to somebody else's ideas, their beliefs, what they think we should do, their ought tos, their shoulds? It's not ours. And this oppressive quality of energy is holding us back from being fully expressed and fully present and fully able to come on deck and bring what we need to bring to life. So this card is why we're having the reading this week. So what is holding our feminine energy back? What is keeping us from being as expressed as we need to be? And where do we need the sacred masculine to clean up and hold the boundaries so that our sacred feminine can do what it needs to do, our inner child can show up and express itself? We need to get out from other people's stuff to live our lives, not that of our parents, past generations, society's ideas. We're here to do it our way, in this lifetime, in our own unique manner. We didn't come to this planet all the same, did we? Just the same. We did not come here to live life in the same manner. And yet we all have conditioning. We all have this outside-in conditioning that tells us that this is how we should be doing things and that we're successful if we've hit these different benchmarks. But that's not what the energy of the time is about. This is about getting out from those ideas and those stories and living into our truth, our inspiration, our joy. And this is telling us that this can change very, very quickly, but that this is the work that needs to happen right now. We need to liberate ourselves from what has come before. Cut ourselves some slack. It's a busy time. It's an intense time. We may not know where we're going yet. We may not know what it's going to look like yet, and that's okay. We don't have to have it all figured out. We are in process, but coming back and having our own back, coming back to the sacred masculine. And I'll come back to the acronym that I like to refer to often because it's a way that we can take care of ourselves. MEDS, meditation, hydration, exercise, diet, and sleep. These are the natural boundaries of our human form. We need to sleep. We need to move. We need to drink enough water. We need to exercise. We need love as well and connection. Those are important as well. But the foundational stuff is that we need to have these structures in place so that we can take good care of ourselves and that we can show up in a better way and that we can do what we need to. And that's that lovely structure of that masculine. And it's different. I probably need more sleep than you do. Maybe not. I don't know. But how do we do it our way? And today might be different than tomorrow. And some of us like a lot of structure and some of us really don't like structure. And that's coming back to this. How are we going to do our lives and doing them our way? So it's very interesting. This energy of momentum and change that's happening very rapidly. As we have the new insights and the new distinctions, the material world is changing along with it very quickly. We have the masculine energy very, very strong in this reading. And it's the benevolent, kind, generous, space holder quality of energy, of setting limits, of setting boundaries, of setting parameters, of creating a beautiful container, a sacred container for our feminine energy to show up into. And then this getting out from underneath other people's energy. We don't need to be living somebody else's idea of what life needs to be. We're here to live our own idea. And I've talked about the yes before, and I'm going to just refer to it here because if you're new, you might not know what I'm talking about. The yes is the collection of shiny things, of aspects of our highest enthusiasm. You have one, I have one. We all have a yes. And our purpose on this planet is to discover our yes and to say yes to our yes, because everything that we want is there in our yes. All the opportunities, all the relationships, all the good stuff that brings us to more enthusiasm and energy and life force. When we go towards our yes, we're turning the dial up on life. All that good life generating quality, more energy rising in our field, more happiness, well-being, joy, celebration. And everything that is in our yes is shiny and compelling to us because that's where life wants us. And we can take the pressure off and not doubt ourselves or judge ourselves for the things that are in our yes, because that's where life wants us to go. We need to be following our highest enthusiasm to the best of our ability every day. That's the glorious experience of being human and following our path and getting out from other people's stuff so that we can be the expression of what we're here to be and bring our inspiration to the collective and fire and inspire each other. So bearing that in mind, and yet we are human. We need sleep. We need food. We need rest. We need movement. We need nature. We need each other. We need boundaries on overextending ourselves. And that's where this beautiful energy of the masculine is this week. It's like yes to the yes, and make sure that you're doing what you need to do to take care of yourself so that you're strong, you're healthy, you're resilient, you're responsive, and you're living your shiniest and best life. And if you are thinking, as I say that, I have no idea what she means, that's okay. It just means that that's your work. That's the opportunity that's before you. So just maybe start paying attention. Maybe keep a nice little journal and say, what do I love in life? What do I enjoy doing in life? What do I care about? What am I passionate about? What do I love? Do I prefer chocolate or vanilla? It's as simple as that. We just start from where the higher energy is and start noticing, because that tells you something about your yes and where you're meant to be. Okay, let's move on to the card to grow on. So interesting. Masculine energy holding space this week. New ideas, new inspiration, and giving ourselves permission to come out from underneath old oppressive ideas and things that are keeping us down, keeping our creative generative energy down. That's our work. Okay, so Creator, summarizing this reading, please. Let's give us a nice card to grow on so that as we emerge this week from this reading, we have something beautiful and coherent to connect with. An anchor point to the energy we've been exploring so that we can be at our best and in offering our best to the world. Our card to grow on for this week, please. April 25th to May 2nd, 2025. One of my favorite cards, the Fool. Lovely energy of the Fool. This is like coming back to the simplicity of life, coming back to the adventure, the curiosity, the wonder. I find it's helpful for people when I refer this back to when you're a little kid and you've just woken up and it's the very first day of summer vacation. You don't have anything planned. You're a kid. You just know you have all this time ahead of you and it's summer and it's going to be awesome and you can't wait to get into it. It's the energy of life rising to meet us as we step out the door early in the day with our bag on our back, ready to meet the adventure of life. Eager and delighted and willing to be surprised and delighted by all the good that's there, that life has in store for us. So this eager, childlike quality of this and something better. I am so open, Creator. I am looking forward to being surprised and delighted by my interactions with you. Open my heart, open my mind to see the wonder, to see the joy, to see the beauty, so that I can walk with my heart open and be a clearing for your goodness in the world. That's this energy of the Fool. And this is our card to grow on this week, tapping into this field of enthusiasm, of inspiration. Once again, wonder, curiosity, joy, simplicity. It's not complicated. It's simple. It's being here now and loving life. This is where we're going this week. This is our card to grow on. By tapping into this energy, we will find that we are far more resilient, far more responsive, far more open to not only experiencing life, but to pulling in the kinds of things that we want. And that's important because we are generative co-creators with life. And if we're in this gorgeous energy of the Fool of, I don't know, but I'm going to go on the adventure anyway. I don't know what I'm going. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm willing to step out the door and go find out. Because life is exciting and it's beautiful and it's rewarding when we step out and reach out for it and connect with it and invite it in. So that's our card to grow on this week. Let's stay connected to the wonder, to the beauty, to the joy. Let's maybe turn the news off and go towards these things that light our hearts on fire, that make us so glad we are in these human forms, so that we can stop and smell the flowers and feel the warmth of the sun on our skin and the wind on our cheek and the bird song and all the good, all the blessings, the many, 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 many blessings of being human at this time. So there we go. I hope you have a really beautiful week of remembering to tap into the energy of that Fool. And we can do that when we have our sacred masculine in place, when we have our masculine container, when our inner parent is making sure we get to bed on time, eating the right foods, not having too much sugar, not having too much alcohol, maybe dialing it down on the caffeine, maybe a regular bedtime, turning off screens a couple hours before we go to bed, turning off the Wi-Fi so we sleep more deeply at night. All those things that our inner parent can do so that our child has all the energy that they need to live into this glorious experience of life. So that's our card to grow on this week. Okay, and with that, I invite you to come back to that beautiful body. Nice deep breath in and out. Amazing how the breath brings us home. It brings all parts of us back into harmony. It brings inspiration to us. It connects us with our wisdom and our truth. It connects us with the compass that our body is. Because the body always knows its yes and its no. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. Thank you once again for this opportunity to be of service through these readings and to connect with others of like heart and mind, wherever they are on the planet, bringing our energies together to pull through these readings for our inspiration, our greater good, our powerful distinctions and insights so that we can move with grace and ease through this beautiful life, navigating the crazy white water of the world at this time, but having a great time riding the rapids, enjoying all that life is bringing us, out there in the middle of the stream with our friends, smiling and laughing and acknowledging each other as we, get dunked and come back up and keep going. I just ask that you surround each and every one of us with joy, with life. Help us to tap into the energy of the Fool in our beings so that we can reconnect with the wonder of this world and the wonder of our beingness in this world, here to experience it in its myriad of expressions, and supporting ourselves in right relationship, our inner parent and our inner child, our inner parent creating beautiful structures and parameters and scaffolding to keep our inner child happy, healthy, thriving, and adventuring. I'm so grateful for the wisdom that has come through for our benefit this week. I want to thank all those who helped to hold this space today. And I want to thank you for being here, for adding your energy to mine and making this possible. I hope you have a magnificent week of connecting with your adventurous inner child and your loving, kind parent, finding right balance, getting out from under stuff that's no longer yours, no longer relevant, letting that go, so that your heart and mind and spirit can be open to the glorious adventure ahead. I wish you a beautiful week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next Friday. Much love and light. Bye for now.